Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. And let's get over here. All right, so to start today off, we have SPRC. What's up? What's up? Caramel. We have SPRC. Looks like it's up on some type of news from yesterday afternoon. It says N2Off shareholders approve a merger with SciSpark's majority-owned subsidiary MitoCare X, a drug discovery company targeting resistant cancers, including pancreatic and non-small cell lung cancer. Okay, so merger news from yesterday. It is the one that's up the most when it comes to small caps, up 53%. It is just about the 10 million shares traded. Let me see. But yeah, that's their news. It's a merger agreement. Let me see if they're talking any kind of money in this merger agreement here. That'll be my next question. Anti-cancer. Okay. Let's see. So Medicare corroborates the anti-cancer biological activity, blah, blah, blah. According to Coherent Market Insights report, the global cancer therapeutics and biotherapeutics market is estimated to be a value of 194 billion, but that's not this company though. It is expected to rise, but that's still not this company. Okay, so let me see. Under the agreement, N2Off will purchase 6,660 or 6,622 shares of MitoCare from SciSpark for $700,000 and exchange the additional and remaining outstanding shares of MitoCare X with all sellers for shares of N2Off's common stock. Okay. It's under $1 million being moved here. So I don't know. We'll see. This is, I believe, an Israeli stock. Let me go and just make sure, fact check myself. SPRC. And we know Israeli stocks can be very volatile, unpredictable. SciSpark, SPRC. Okay. Yeah, Tel Aviv, Yafo, Israel. So these types can be crazy. We saw Israeli stock, what was it, Friday or one of those days, super volatile, halting up, halting down. Everything that you didn't want to happen happened on that Israeli stock. So I always kind of am very cautious around the Israeli stocks. Looking at my scanner, I only see one that like as soon as I look at the scanner, it meets some of the criteria, and that was SPRC. But as I'm looking into it, I'm like, okay, it's a merger agreement. It's kind of like they're not moving a lot of money. It's only $700,000 being moved. It's not like they're moving 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 10 million, something like that. So I'll be very careful on that one. It hit a high up here. Well, pre-market yesterday, it shot all the way up to 765, and then this morning shot up to 768. Good morning, Danielle. And what we're seeing with everything that's going on, I'm like, all right, let's just see some structure, but that Israeli basis, I'm very wary of. Unless Israeli stocks just start popping out and really running. But when they do, most of the times they end up with a huge halt down at some point. They kind of move like they're at war, literally. Other than that, let me go ahead and show y'all what I'm looking at on this watch list too. Let's watch list here. Let's go here and then go over to watch list. This is it. All right, so this is what it's looking like. So everything else on the watch list is under $5. It is, you know, some of them have a little bit of motion, like BENF. It's up 50 or 41% with 17 million shares traded. So if the focus is penny stocks, then you know how I feel about that. So BENF right now is the top gainer and it's only 52 cents. Under that, we have SPRC, STAK, MSS, CJET, all of these, all the way down to our first red one down there, down 17%. Something just popped in right there. Y'all just saw that. NLSP. Let's go look into that one. It's only $3. Let's go see what it's talking about. So let me switch this back over to here and go back over to my main. All right, so let's jump over to which one just popped in? NLSP. We'll go ahead and get this marked up. Let's see what kind of news is here. So it says press release. This is another merger. So we got two mergers on the board. SPRC with the merger and NLSP with the merger. Let's see what kind of money this one's talking about. Or if they're even talking about money. Let's see. So votes to closing. The merger will create NASDAQ listed company. Okay, so they're trying to create a new company out of it. Wow, this thing's diving. Okay, NLSP going on down. Only up 20% now. Wow. Another merger. Is it from Israel too? Let's see. NLSP. It is from Switzerland. So we got a Israeli stock up there, and then a Switzerland stock just popped in and turned around big. So up to 3. Look at this go down. Woo. Yeah, so that's under 20% now. So not too into that. BENF. This one kind of shot up a little bit. It's got 19 million. It's leading the day in volume, and it's the top percent gainer with 50% now in the low floats. So, you know, just keep my head on a swivel, keeping calm. CLGN just popped up as well. CLGN, or it popped up. Let's see, when did that pop up? At 6 o'clock to 5.95. and came back down here to 379. It's only up 22%. What was this news? It says Cold Plant Biotechnologies announces positive results for non-clinical studies of its photocurable regenerative dermal and soft tissue filler. All right, so Botox. Okay. So yeah. Botox, I don't know about that one either. Up 24%, 22%. But BENF coming right on back down to 50 cents, but still a whole lot of volume traded over here. 20 million shares traded on this little cheap one. SPRC continues to walk down the map. All right, so let's do some searching for some catalysts. BENF had catalyst yesterday and it was negative. Their revenue was negative 7.94 million on BENF. I really don't know how it even popped up like it did. Not great news at all. SPRC is an Israeli stock doing a merger. That's and the merger is only making them, you know, not even, or it's not even $700,000 moving. So that's not something that I'm too focused on. Then we got STAK. Does not look like it had any news recently. So the top 3 are pretty much just like blah. NLSP, we just saw that one get punched in the mouth back from 349. CLCG or CLGN. That's the one I just was talking about with the Botox, the filler, the dermal filler. It may not be Botox, but it's some type of dermal filler that they're pushing. But I know one thing, it's getting pushed down for sure. Only up 12, 11%. So people are gonna be not so willing to trade it down there. Then NLSP, same thing, under 20%. We see SPRC kind of trying to gather, but the underlying criteria or the underlying features of this stock is keeping me on 10 toes about it. I think we're gonna see something better than that today. BENF popping back up. So it previously had a little top here at 60 cents and it has 21 million shares. So if it starts to break, it may actually be the most bullish looking one if it starts to break out here. Even though it's got negative news, I really don't understand, but it's got news. So I guess people are like, yeah, let's do this. Wow. NLSP took out everything, gave back everything. Now it's only up 5%. CGL with the same trip down there at 7% now. We want to see things that are going to hold their gains and continue to move higher. SPRC slipping on down as well. So yeah, BENF is looking like the most bullish thing right now with 22 million shares traded. It says shares outstanding is 8 million. I don't know exactly what the float is, but I do know it's under 20 million. So yeah, people are definitely trying to push and pull this thing around. The tape is moving extremely fast with the way it's jumping around though. SPRC, small little retracement. Over 59 would be the breakout level. Continues to try it. Where is this company located? BENF. BENF is out of Dallas, Texas. It says Beneficient, a technology-enabled financial services company, provides liquidity solutions and related trustee and custody and trust administrative services to participants in the alternative asset industry in the United States. Okay. So let me continue reading. It operates through Ben Liquidity, Ben Custody, and Customer Exalt Trust segments. The company offers Ben Alt Access platform for secure online and end-to-end delivery of each of the Ben business unit products and services, including upload documents and work through tasks and complete their transactions with standardized transaction agreements. Okay, so it's basically like a finance kind of like AI technology finance company. out of Dallas, Texas. Okay. And it is definitely continuing to get volume. Went up here and almost got a breakout at 59. Got a little turnaround down there. I know there's going to be something better today. I know it is. So I'm just going to be patient. Keep my hopes high. I took a trade. Oh yeah, I did trade something yesterday, didn't I? I took a trade yesterday on JFB, a very quick trade, and I'll show it to you here. While we wait, JFB yesterday. So I caught this little move here. I kind of, I was kind of trying to see if I wanted to take this trade after the beginning. I had marked up the chart and everything. Saw a little trend starting here. It came up, and during this time here, I was in a meeting. So when I was getting out of the meeting, it was like, let's see, 9. Nope, I still wasn't out. Okay, so it was after this. It was down here when I got out of my meeting. And I had already, while I was in the meeting, I was tracing where the points of control was. And this is where I had calculated or kind of saw that the points of control were gathering. So I ended up getting in down here at $11 and riding it up here to 11.58. Only thing is, I was following this thing up with my stop, and I had my stop at 11.25, right? So somewhere up in here, and it came up here, and I thought it was going to go ahead and push through this cloud and push up to maybe 12 something would have been nice, but it came down and stopped me out. So I only got 25 cents on that trade overall. So I was like, hey, that is what it is. And then later on in the day, the volume just kept going down. It played around under my ATRs a little bit too much, and I didn't even look at it anymore that day. And so the volume got so sticky, and then all of a sudden it pops up. So I was like, it is what it is. I traded it when the volume was at a level where it was comfortable to trade for me. And if it didn't work out right here, if I got in at 11 and it came down, my stop was 25 cents down. So it was 25 cents up, 25 cents down. So if it would have came down to 10.75, I would have been out of the trade, but it did not. It stacked up here, pushed on up here. I did not take any profit here because I thought it was going to go ahead and recapture this level and start kind of filing higher, but it didn't. It fell out of that zone and stopped me out. So that was the trade from yesterday. But I got 23 cents. My goal is to get 30 cents per trade, but 23 cents, I was like, it is what it is. I'll take that. All right, back over to today's program. So BNF still doing his thing. I did get for Wendy's. Wendy's, I was telling y'all guys about that has fallen to what, $9 now. I bought 1 share of Wendy's. So I'm gonna be collecting that 1 share of dividend. If it continues to drop though, I'm gonna add. I would like to see it drop from here. I just wanted a little bit under 10 bucks, and see where it goes. Cause let's say it does drop $5. Let's say it goes to $5 or $4 actually. If it drops $4 and it ends up at $5, I only got 1 share at 9. So if I buy another one, it'll give me the average between. My average entry price would be the average between those two. So I don't want to get too excited. I'm gonna enter it super slow because Wendy's has been around forever, and I was like, it's under $10. I'm gonna give it a shot. And plus, it did cut its dividend a little bit, but it's still 14 cents per quarter. So I'm like, in the long run, I mean, having it in the portfolio, I just build slow. I want to enter in my first entry 500 shares under 10 bucks, and then it drops to $5. That's crazy. That's stupid. Even if it's paying the dividend won't keep up with that loss. So, got a little bit and looking for it to continue to fall. If it doesn't fall, oh well. I'll just have 1 share. I'll be on my Weeble. You know how they give you 1 or 2 shares of a stock? But yeah. All right, let's flip back over here. Benny, looking like it's going on down. Let's see, stack, SPRK. Looking at the overall market, it does look pretty. It made its move up from the 26th all the way to the 29th, and now it's kind of going flat. So we're gonna have to figure some things out with what it wants to do over these next coming days. So this is what it's looking like right now. So it had this little rubber band effect here on Thursday, and this is when a bunch of speakers were talking, and they were going over, the news was coming out about the shutdown and all of this, all of the Fed cuts and all of that stuff. So it did a couple of rubber band movements in here, and then it got some clean motion out of here upward. And now we're kind of just sitting in a area where we're trying to figure out if it's going to correct back down here or if it continues to want to trade upward. So are we going to see a correction back to this level of 24,600? We'll see. All right, BENF continues to just baffle me that it's continuing to get these pumps of volume in here. 26, we just looked at it, was at 23 million. Now it's at 26 million. SPRC, again, that's the Israeli stock, is about to hit 10 million shares here. Traded, it's up 42%. We'll see what it wants to do. Oh, let's go while we're in this mode. Let's go over here to the front page and see what everybody's seeing on Yahoo Finance. Right now, I think the most bullish one is going to be BENF. Just the way it's looking, it may be explosive or unpredictable. So keep an eye on that. But over here, let's see. So 3 areas where a shutdown will hit fast. Lawmakers left the Oval Office without a deal, boosting the odds of a stoppage just after midnight today. Okay. So a government shutdown is what is what it's looking like. BENF looked like it was going to jump, but it didn't. All right. Let's see any big names sticking out on the front page. Budget hotels are starting to feel the squeeze. Feds Jefferson sees rising threats to U.S. jobs market. Exxon to cut 2,000 workers as oil sector job losses mount. Google to pay 24.5 million to end Trump suit over January 6th ban. Gold slips as traders take stock off record-breaking rally. NBC Universal YouTube fight shows streaming's new power struggle. Treasuries poised for third quarter of gains as shutdown looms. I'm not seeing. Okay, Citigroup forecasts big tech AI spending across 2.8 trillion by 2029. Okay, that's just the forecast. U.S. coal auctions will test industry appetite for Trump mining revival. Oil price outlook steady as rising supply offset by concerns over Russian output. Reuters poll. On holding COO Sam Wagner, whoever he's to step down. Insider Scott McGuire to take over. Clean energy glut draws cryptocurrency miners to Brazil. China Zipu. I don't even know if I said that right. AI says full artificial super intelligence unlikely by 2030. All right. Veritas backed software firm Anthology files for bankruptcy. All eyes on Washington as the government shutdown looms. Let's go see what they're talking about over here. Is anything else popping up while I'm doing this? Nope, not seeing anything. Oh, DPRO. What? Before we go and do that, DPRO. Let me see what's going on over here. So it says it's selected by U.S. Army to supply Flex FP on DPRO. Wait a minute. This one is over $5. Now it is only 18% up, right? So still want to be careful, but wait a minute. I'm looking around. I'm seeing things. So I wanna make sure I'm not missing. Hit a high up here of 864. Let's jump out here to the daily chart real quick and see if we can get any obvious levels out here on D-Pro. It does have news on the day. So it went up. Let's back up a little bit. Went up to a high of 864. Let's see if there's any obvious things up here at 864. There was a gap right here. So almost 864 in this gap. Let's go ahead and mark that up. Gap level, previous gap level. It's been filled though. I don't know if it's going to do a refilling. Let's go ahead and mark that up. Daily gap level in there in that area, and then I'll duplicate that and put in the bottom. Okay. And then let's look for peaks. So we got a peak out here of 924. Peak level. Peak daily level. Okay. Whoops. Can I zoom back to that level? So that's one peak. And then we have this gap in here. Actually, this gap is kind of hard to perceive like this. I'm going to activate this and move this down to the tip of that 844. I know somewhere in here could be a special level. Now this going back to 578 is going to be a no-go. I don't want to see that. But it is coming out with this news. It says Dragonfly selected by Army to provide. Let's see if they're talking any money here. So DPRO, under the initial order, Dragonfly will deliver Flex FPV drones designated for high performance operations, as well as help establish on-site manufacturing of Flex FPV first-person view within overseas U.S. forces facilities to accelerate deployment and reduce supply chain timelines. Okay, are y'all talking any money? I'm not seeing any money being talked about here, so let me see, zoom through. No money being talked about. Okay, but it does have news on the day. It's only got 2 million shares trading. It's only up 13%, so it's got a lot of work to do. BENF, like I said, this one, it's too much volume piling into this thing. It's got 31 million shares traded. It's up to 66%. So definitely overshadowing everything else right now. For sure overshadowing SPRC. So if that's where people want to focus, cool. Cool. But I want to keep my eyes on these the news catalyst that is coming out on this morning as well. I don't want to miss something playing around. Okay. Anyway, back over here to what we were looking at here. Let me see. So that's a live video. I don't know if I want to watch a live video. How Trump's foreign-made film tariffs actually work. Fed will take cues from markets if government shutdown impacts data. US dollar versus euro. Okay. How a government shutdown will impact your money. I was gonna watch that, but yeah, it's a live video. I don't know if I want to stream a live stream. D-Pro, man. D-Pro is looking very interesting if it can only start to get up. And I'll give it time to get up. I'm not worried about, trying to jump in now for the expectation of it going up, because it may not happen. So I'd rather it make the move, then get a dip, then look for that next move, that second or third leg, or not the second or third leg, the second leg of the move. So D-Pro came down here to 750, had a little top up here, and we'll see what kind of structure it builds down here and if it can actually hold up. But for right now, the whole thing's above 5, so it's definitely meeting the price criteria. For shares outstanding, it says 18 million. That's a little bit higher. For me, let me go and look in FinViz and all of these to see what the what it's saying that its float is. DPRO. Pumping on up there though. Pumping on up there. All right, so let's go to statistics. And let's see where this thing is based out of as well. So we got it is definitely doing some greenish movement. Let me flip back over here real quick. Look at this. But it's just the percentage gain isn't there. So I need to see that, or maybe it'll be a mover tomorrow. I don't know, but I need to see it start being a high percent gainer. But that's the daily gap level. I got the tip. I don't know how obvious that tip is, and the thing is with those wicks, I don't know if on other platforms they see those wicks like we do, right? Some people remove the wicks. Some people, so I may want to mark the bodies instead of those wicks that I marked. Let me come over here. Now I'm thinking about that. Let me do that. So let's not do the wicks. Let's go ahead and activate this. Let me scoop back a little bit. It was, boy, where are they? Must have zoomed in too much. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna get the bodies of these just in case people don't see the wicks. Because I was just thinking about that. I was like, wait a minute. Let me just do the body. So 867, we'll mark that up. And then activate bottom side of this, which if it does go all the way down there, I'm not touching it anyway. Then it's got this peak out here, peak daily level at 924, but it's got a body down here 827. So, oh boy, this thing is continuing to move. So starting to build a little structure here. We got a previous high at 865. Let's see if it can actually, what is it going to do here? It's up 20%. 20%. So definitely some possibilities here. Okay. Got that daily level up there. That was still not a higher break. So we'll see what happens towards these highs and if it can actually hold this down. So we'll go ahead and mark this possible. I don't know if I want to mark that structure up. It looks so strong. Yeah, let me see if this closes red and then okay, yeah, that's what I need to see. All right, so let's see how this structure does, this first structure through here. And it again, it's already came down here to the 775s, which is not a problem. But if it comes back down here, that'll be only like 10% up or something like that, and people will forget about it very quickly. So be careful of it just dying, because it's only got 3 million shares traded here too. So not a whole lot of volume for big traders to be in this one for big pushes. All right, BENF continue to hold up as well. Again, 34. It's got three times everything else, at least 3 times everything else in volume. So people are still focused over here on BENF. SPRC dying off. Let me go ahead and take notes about where this point of control is on DPRO. So DPRO point of control, we got 816 on the 5 and the 15 minute over here. So our POC here, point of control 1816, and point of control on the 15 minutes 1816, and then on the 1 minute is 1824. So let's go ahead and mark that up and see where that ends up going. So 1824 down to 1816, and we'll see how it trades within this level. Okay. All right, so we'll see what it does when it makes it over here. Right now it's showing a little red. Guess I could go ahead and connect them. 1824. Here we go. All right, so we'll see how it trades above that level or whatnot. But like I said, the percentage gain is a little bit lower on this one, even though it's got that catalyst. I want to be, kind of like, I don't like everything about it, but it does have that catalyst. So it has the possibility But with it not just pushing through 20, going to 40, going up, 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 that's kind of changing my mind. It needs to be very strong to push out of these levels and to actually get over and hold 20%. All right, QLGN only up 13%. And then SPRC continue to chop on down. I know there's going to be something better. I just got to wait. Got to be patient. D Pro. So going down, only up 16% now. And I'm going to continue to follow this down because I want to see if at some point today, if it's going to actually break over and start holding those 850s, holding that 864 level. It's definitely got the range. It's been doing some crazy moves here. Let me see where this one's actually located. D Pro. It is from Saskatchewan, Canada. Saskatchewan. I don't even know. What is this word? Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, Canada. Dragonfly Inc. was founded in 1998. It develops, manufactures, and sells cutting-edge unmanned and remote data collection and analysis platforms and systems in the United States and Canada. The company offers quadcopters, fixed-wing aircrafts, ground-based robots, handheld controllers, and flight training, as well as software used for tracking, live streaming, and all that stuff. Okay. It also operates a telehealth platform, a set of technologies that remotely detects various biometrics such as heart rate, oxygen saturation, and blood pressure. In addition, the company provides sanitary spraying services to indoor, outdoor, public gathering spaces. Okay. All right. So they're all about the AI technology, data gathering, and all that good stuff. All right. But they're only up 15%, and BENF continues to pump up. So up 68 cents now. And this one is a very slow mover, but you know, it's just got so much volume. Almost 40 million shares traded on this thing. It's moved from 48 cents up here to 70 cents. And it's taking it from 604 up here to 637, about 30 minutes to make a 30-cent move there. So very, very choppy in nature. SPRC going on down. We got D Pro coming back and testing this level here. So 825 down to 816. It's just testing this level here. And we'll see where the new points of controls come out. Let's go over to the 5-minute real quick and look at, kind of zoom out a little bit here. So on the 5-minute, we see two topping tail wicks up there to that previous what I think is structure, but it needs some more confirmation to actually solidify. And coming back into this indecision, let's look at the 15-minute. 15-minute, two top and tail wicks there. Bottom of this one is $7.96, so almost $8 there. And still holding what I think is structure, but has not been confirmed yet. So I don't know. And BENF, what you got over here? BENF continues. This is what? First leg, second leg, third leg. Is it going to continue to do these legs on throughout the day? And why? I'm just waiting to see some kind of news or something, some reasoning for it to be pushing like this, other than just hungry people. Okay. Point of control kind of bouncing around. So it touched that level. We'll see if it It ends up dragging the point of control down so we can kind of find a floor. But yeah, this is the previous point of control. It bounced off of, touched the tip top of that, and now can it hold it? This thing breaks out again. I know something is very irrational going on here. Yep. This is an irrational mover, and sometimes they can stay irrational way longer than you think. So somebody could have been. I don't even know if you can short this or if it's easier. Oh, it says hard to borrow. Okay, hard to borrow over here on TOS, but they may not be hard to borrow somewhere else like Trade Zero or something like that. So it continues to do these. This is one, two, three, four times that it's pushing up. 70 cents hit. About a well, I guess wasn't a 30-cent move. This is 50 cents right here. So about a 20-cent move here. 20-cent move over the course of about 40 minutes. Just a 20-cent move. That is not what I'm looking for. I need something a little bit faster that'll feed me. All right, D Pro snapped down there to the 8. Actually threw a wick all the way to 784s. QLGN. What's your news on today, QLGN? Let's see. Faraday Future says closing of strategic 41 million investment in Qualgen Therapeutics to accelerate its dual flywheel and dual bridge eco strategy. That was this morning at 5. And then it repeats that news, closes a 41 million investment. Let me see anything else. Nope. It's just a bunch of repeats of the same thing. Closing $41 million investment. All right, D Pro back up here in this level. 16%, but I'm just at this point I need to see it just explode and get going because I've lost faith. It's got almost 5 million shares traded, and we're still seeing BENF be a problem. Actually clipping through that 70 cents, 71 cents there. Yep. But this whole move to me for time and range, it's not worth it. I was in that trade. Let me see. What was that trade for 25 cents yesterday? I was in that trade for 15 minutes for 25 cents. And really, I shouldn't even held that long. It should have been shorter than that. I should have took profit at the top, but I held a little bit longer and got stopped. Should have been like a 12-minute trade, maybe 10-minute trade. This one's been going for 40 something minutes. I know what the shorts are thinking. They're like, there's no way this thing's still gonna pump up. There's no way. There's no way this thing's gonna pump up. And yet, we continue to see this thing break. But the breakouts are getting smaller. So looking at this one, let me see. So came up here from 56 up to about 57. So about a 1 cent. Then here it broke out 58 up to 59. So about 1 cent. Then down here, this really, I don't even know if you can count this as a true breakout, but 56 all the way up to 61 all the way up. So I don't know, that's a little bit different. Yeah, I guess it broke this level 59 up to 65, pulled back here, and it's just a very unpredictable stock here. 43 million shares traded on it though. All right, back down to D Pro. Let's see. D Pro. So you did a little bottom here, 771, 785. But you're not up enough to meet the criteria. BENF, people starting to give up the ghost a little bit. Under 66, that'll be his first kind of true 1 minute breakdown of a previously tested level here of the 66, and it's getting down there pretty quickly. Way quicker coming down than going up for sure. It was on a it was rolling a boulder uphill, but now it's on a slip and slide. All right, SPRC still down there. Point of control has slipped all the way under this level here, and now the point of control is at 813. Over here on the other side, it is from 816 down to 799. So let me mark that up as our new little zone there. Okay, or maybe it just wants to reclaim this level in here, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and mark it up. 799 to 816. So 799 in here. That's about $8 up to 816. So we'll see what the struggle bus does for it. Activate 716. Okay, so it's in this range, but I want to keep them separated so I can tell the difference between the two. So again, failing that level, and we'll see if it starts to break down. Yeah. So now only up 14%. If it breaks down this 783, it's going to be up only 10 something percent, which is not worth it on the day. As you know, most of these low floats, if they don't hold their gains, you might want to get out the way. You know, 10% a 10% small cap, it's like, nah, bro. Nah, you need to hold up. SPRC made a little move up, but I'm not too worried about that one. 10 million shares. It's number 2 in volume, though. QLGN ended up fading a little bit back towards that 6. I think there's going to be something better during intraday, is what I'm thinking. Or something's going to pop up here during right before open, and everybody that's already got chopped up on these other ones is going to be like, oh man, I should have waited, you know. So that's what I'm waiting for, that oh man, I should have waited moment. And that's where that real FOMO comes in. Everybody's like, well, I should have waited, but I could still get some, right? Yes, yes, come and play. What scanner do I use for momentum gainers? So I have a, let me show you here. Let's see. Let me see if I can flip this screen up here. Scanner. No, that's the wrong one. I'm trying to go to this one. So basically I use for momentum, since TOS has kind of broad strokes when it comes to scripting, and especially during pre-market. Pre-market, it's almost like you can't specifically say, I want something that's above, 20 something percent, or I want something above 15%. You can't do that in pre-market because the default value is reset at the end of the previous day to 0. So whatever the percent change is actually 0. So we on this watch list we can see, let me see, on this watch list, we can see, you see how we see 76%? Well, on the percent, or on the percent change that comes with, that is not the market, that comes with the default scanner in TOS, it shows 0 right now. It doesn't show 77. So you can't even categorize as 77, right? So what you want to do is get the float that you want, the things that meet your float, the thing that meets the volume that can be calculated during pre-market. The things that, well, I say float. In TOS, it's not directly float, it's outstanding shares, but you can use outstanding shares to gauge where the float is. You can do ATR. It'll calculate that from the previous day. So if the ATR, but the only catch with that is if you do ATR, let's say if something had an ATR of 10 cents yesterday, but it has an ATR of $30 today, you're going to miss that because it's going to calculate on that 10 cents. And let's say you're only looking for ATRs over 20 cents. You're going to miss that. What else? You can do market cap. That'll recalculate. You can do price, market, not last, because if you do last, that recalculates on what happens previous day. So if it closed at 12 cents, you're only looking above 5. You won't see it until the open. It's gonna say, oh, this thing's up to $8. Here you go at the open. You'll miss the whole pre-market. So I really am not looking for momentum. I'm looking for more of the telltale signs that it could explode through shares outstanding, through volume, through ATR, looking at those kind of things rather than looking at specific momentum. Now I can make and I have made scanners that scan for particular patterns. So like a three bar run, 4-bar run, I can make it look for, hey, I want you to look for a green candle, and is the following green candle up, this percentage above this. I can make a scanner that does that, but it's kind of in pre-market, it's just not necessary, you know. So I just don't do those type of scanners because I usually find what I'm looking for on this type. Just an open scanner that's just showing me, hey, these are the shares you're looking for, this is the volume you're looking for, and these are the and even the ATR. I don't even have the ATR. I have it on this scanner, but I don't have it in the scan. It's not scanning for ATRs. So volume and shares is pretty much the most important thing for me for a pre-market scanner in TOS. But after into intraday, that's when I can get more complex with my scanners. I can say, hey, I want it to be up this percentage. Hey, I want it to, I can use the open and see what percentage up or down it is from its actual open. Is it red on the day? Is it green on the day? Where are my ATRs now? All of that stuff happens after, and the more complex scripts can run after the open. So it kind of leaves me in a spot where I have a very open pre-market scan, and you can see everything from penny stocks to everything on here. But during my intraday, you wouldn't see a penny stock on my scan. You wouldn't see anything under $5 on my scan because I don't care about them. Pre-market is pretty much the only time that they can move smoothly, so I just don't even touch them. My scan starts at $5 and goes, I want an ATR of at least 70 cents. I want it to be over 26%. I'm looking for a catalyst. I want the shares to be under 20 million. It's very, very specific in my intraday. I don't even see these little cheap ones because they're nothing but distractions anyway. So I'd rather be green than hurt. And even if I am going to be red, let me be controlled red. Let me not oversize into something and get killed. Okay, let's shift back over to here, and I will show you what I mean with this pre-market scanner. Let me go back over it. Wait, why isn't it pulling it up? Am I missing something? SPN. No, that's the right one. Okay. Maybe. Huh. Okay, let me see what's going on with this. Oh, there's the chat. That worked. Let's go to this. Watch. I don't know why it's not giving me. What's that scan? It's got to be in here somewhere, right? That's crazy. Oh, there it is. Okay. D Pro. Yeah, that's it. Looks different, but yeah, that's it. All right. So let me go over here to the main. And so the scan that I'm using for pre-market. So this one, pre-market low floats. This is it. Super simple scan, super open, right? Shares 1 to 20. Market cap. Now the problem is with this scan is if you don't have what you win on down pat, this scan can mess you up because it's so fluid. It lets almost everything in. So you in your mind, you have to know what you're looking for on this scan. It could be a very dangerous scan because you may think, oh man, this thing's up on this scan, must be tradable. No, you need to look in your statistics, look in your trade journal and see, hey, what am I winning on? What ideas am I winning on? What is the idea in the market? And then say, okay, these are the things I need to be looking for in pre-market, right? But it's going to show you everything. Everything's going to glitter in gold, just like with what we're looking at over here. Where we got BENF. BENF, I wouldn't touch with a 50-foot pole, 100-foot pole. I wouldn't touch it if it was on the other side of the earth, right? But I see it. So the temptation, the visual temptation is here, but I'm like, it's so far out of my scope, I'm cool. Just like Stack or MSS and all this other stuff that's up here that I would never touch. It's just like that's why it could be dangerous, that open scan, because it's gonna show you all those things. You just got to get over yourself and not trade them. QLGN and all this stuff just not even meeting my criteria. I know my criteria in my head, and my intraday scanner has my criteria in it, but this scan, it's like, hey, it is what it is. You gotta settle down, use some self control. If that makes sense, I hope that made sense. If I didn't answer your question, please let me know. Um, and yeah, I'm not sure. Deep Pro just tapping his head on this little band cushion here multiple times. And only up 15%. So out of scope. Mm-hmm. Top gainer BNF continues to slow down more and more. Hit a high of 71. Down here to 64. It's definitely moving down faster than it was moving up. So it's done 1, 2, 3, all of those moves. My Twitch is glitchy today. Let me go check Twitch. Let me go see what Twitch's issues are. It may be Twitch itself. Let me see what their servers are looking like.
I do have a Python.
What is? Let's see. Why are you glitching, Twitch? We better look into this. And that's wrong. Okay, let's Let's see what's going on over here at Twitch here. This code was sent to my phone. Oh, my phone's not over here. All right, let me get my phone. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So, what is the code? I wonder, did I refresh my... I know I refreshed some of the streams that I'm on, but I don't know if I refreshed Twitch. Let's see. I see myself streaming myself, so that's pretty good. And there is an echo. Let me get off of this. I don't like that. All right. So, when you say glitchy, do you mean like audio or do you mean like video? What is it that's glitchy about it? Because I can try to manipulate things here if I need to. BENF, getting a little slammage. Okay, so D Pro, it's very spicy. Dove down here to 772. That was quite a far dive there under this little 825 level. It freezes up. Okay, video. Let's see. Let me go look at, like I said, the servers here. So down, let's go see Twitch's servers. Are they having issues this morning? Because I'm not having any issues as far as internet here where I'm at. So Twitch, last known issues, there were a couple yesterday afternoon. It says website server connection was some of the issue here. And if you ever want to look at what's down or what's going on with any service, just come out here to down detector and go over to what you're looking for. So Twitch right now, or let me see, you can see the graph. Yesterday they really had some issues, right? And then here you can see a 68% website, 21, which isn't the highest. I've definitely seen it higher than this, like 50 something percent or something like that, where server connection is just horrible. But these are talking about the complaints. What percentage of complaints reported where they fall, whether it's just the app, the server, or the website. So definitely some people talking about it. It says app keeps crashing. That was a couple of days ago, I guess. But yeah, Twitch is on that moon ride right now, huh? D Pro, I'm not sure about D Pro. It's doing a lot of wicks and things like that. Maybe it makes a move later on. SPRC gave back, came up here to 658 and gave it back. D Pro, that level definitely held there on it, and it's making that point of control jump around. We'll see if the point of control goes even below 8. Is it going to start walking down the map, or does it actually want to attack this level and get through it at 817? Even if it does, it would still only be up like 25% or something like that, so it still wouldn't be in scope. It would need to start holding this level up here at the over the 825s for a break of this level possibly. But it's just going really flat right now. Maybe your dial-up is a little slow, man. You're still on dial-up. That's crazy. You ain't never getting hacked. All the new hackers, they don't know nothing about dial-up. You'll actually be more secure, but just less, yeah, you know, I wouldn't say more secure. There's still some people that come kick your door in, but, you know, I would say the older technologies buff baffle some of the new attackers. They never got a chance to hear that old dial-up sound, you know, which is crazy. I remember what it was a couple of them that used to make weird noises. It was dial-up. I know AOL used to have this little when it was loading in, it had sound effects when the internet was talking to each other doing the TCP handshake and all of that. Um, Let me see what else made little noises when it came up. I think that was the main two that I can remember. And I'm sure there's some other ones, but yeah, those are kind of instilled or stained in my brain. I still see people with AOL emails and stuff like that, so I guess it's still kicking. So it is 7:05. We're passing the top of the hour. I'm looking for something else to come and take the day. I really am. I don't know where it is. I don't know how it's going to compete, but the lowest volume thing on my watch list right now is 3 million shares. So it's going to have to cross 3 million shares before I even see it, unless we go into the open and then my other scanner will pick it up if it's meeting the criteria. Radio before your cell phone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, man. Or the not even the radio before the you remember when they had that sound effect? It was like I guess they still do that though. Yeah, radio came before the whole number dialing sound before the call, like do 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 do, you know. But yeah, all of those dial tones, man, it's crazy how all this stuff interacts and it works with sound and works with pretty much everything we have to be more efficient. And then the fact that it can still be usable on today's systems, you know, landlines and things still work, because they follow specific standards. They were like, hold up, we're not just gonna go out here making stuff that doesn't make sense. We want these things to be standardized so we could take it anywhere in the world and it'll work. Imagine if you had like a different if we had not standardized and we had like super different systems, that would be a mess. That would be a mess right now. Not saying that everything was perfect, because it's definitely not. We BENF coming on down. All right. Well, for now, if anything pops up at this point, usually like after 7, okay, I go to my other office. I'm setting up and I'm looking. Most of the time, I get there after the open, and then I have meetings too. So, I come in maybe around 9:30 or something after those meetings. But I kind of try to keep an eye on it to see if anything's popping on this scanner. Um, but I don't want to be rushing into anything. I want to do my due diligence on anything new that does pop up, see where it's from, look at the news, all of that good stuff, and attack it accordingly. Back in the day, in the 2000s, most cell phones from Europe didn't work in the Western. Yeah, that is true. Yep. When they started, when they started to see the effects of that, that's what made them change and implement more of those standards, saying, okay, wait, what if we want to talk to our guys across the pond? What if we want to do XYZ? We want to work with them. Or let's say if they want to move to the United States and work on our systems, I mean, if the standards are that different, it's going to be an even bigger problem. Now, they do have things they do over there that is way different from what we do for sure. But the the mathematical structure is pretty, pretty easy to pick up no matter what, if you're technically savvy, I guess you can say. Now if you never done anything mathematical or anything, you never seen any of that, that's gonna hurt your brain. It's gonna hurt your brain whether you're over there or over here. You just be like, what? What is this? Yeah, different bandwidths. Yep. Yeah. US has servers everywhere. Everywhere. So we have a pretty nice grouping of accessible servers to everyone. Then again, the US is way bigger than most European countries. So, you can travel, in the same state for an hour. You travel in the same state for 2 hours. Sometimes if you're in Texas, you could be in that state for a long time if you just start driving on one side and go to the other. So definitely we needed bigger infrastructure. You know, going from different countries in minutes, 45 minutes you're in a different country. Just, I mean, 45 minutes you may just be in the next county, in the next, next city, not the next country. And everything is just its own, like there's so many different micro communities in the US, little patches of people. IBG, what is this thing? So it's IBG just popped up. Let me see what it's talking about. It halted on the 25th, pending news. Then another halt on the 26th. Not seeing any catalyst. It's up 33%, but not seeing that. Maybe it'll come out with catalyst later on in the day, but it's got 3 million shares traded. It just made it onto the scan. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one to come and overshadow all of these other ones. BENF needs to die. SPRC die. All of these things need to just go. Give us something with value that can pay us. Okay, so now it traded on this 825. It's coming and bumping its head on this other point of control that we had put out here. So just continues to bump its head and make these little, I guess it needs to break down 770s, but a lot of flat trading in here with big wicks. If we could jump over here to the 5-minute, look at these wicks. Whoops. Look at these wicks. Oh, come on, man. Chill out. Look at this. 5-minute. I mean, what do you do with this? This is nothing but taking your money from you and then teasing you as it plays around in these wicks. I'm okay with dodging that kind of nonsense. That's the 5-minute on SPRC. IBG right up to 520 and back down to 405. Up 29%, so it is a 20% struggler right now, but continues to kind of feed in volume. We'll see if it can make its way on up the map. Still got to get over that 5 though. Look at the daily chart on IBG. I just don't see a catalyst for it. That's the only thing that's throwing me off. So it closed at 315 yesterday. Had a peak out here of 655. Let me go see what kind of company this is, because I wonder, are they doing any crypto plays here? IBG. Innovation Beverage. Oh, Innovation Beverage Group Limited. Innovation Beverage Group to get Oh my gosh. Okay. Innovation Beverage Group, together with its subsidiaries, engages in developing, manufacturing, selling, and exporting alcoholic beverages in Australia and the United States. The company offers bitters under the Australian Bitters Company and Bitter Tales brands, bottled cocktails under the Twisted Shaker brand, light spirits, and mixers. It also provides non-alcoholic beverages, non-alcoholic spirits under the Drummer Boy brands, and other alcoholic beverages under the Australis Gin, Vodka, Cheeky Vodka, Conventry Estate Gin, Geo Liquid. Oh my gosh, I almost broke my tongue. All right, and This Word brands. In addition, the company retails wines and spirits as well as other products through its online marketplaces, consisting of www.wiredforwine.com, bevmart.com, bevmart.com au, and drummerboy.com. The company was formerly known as Australian Boutique Spirits and changed its name to Innovation Beverage Group Limited in June 2022. Innovation Beverage was incorporated in 2018 and is based in Seven Hills, Australia. Okay. All right. So that's one. Eh, it can go either way, man. I don't even know, man. Sometimes those alcoholic ones go crazy, but maybe today is the day. I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is I'm gonna play it safe until I find something that really pulls me in and gives me no choice but to trade it. Gotta trade it. I gotta get in this dip. All right, so we're back over to the 1 minute. The point of control keeps flipping back and forth at this $8 level, but a very flat trading in here. Yeah, so I'm not sure about any of that. Let me see. You posted in Discord. Give me 1 second. Let me get that up. You posted what your computer sounds like. How much RAM do you have in your computer, and what kind of do you have a graphics card that is in your computer? When I say RAM, I mean it's random access memory, but they usually represent it in a value like 16 gigs or 32 gigs or 8 gigs or 64 gigs. So if you're looking for it, that it may be in those values. Oh boy. Oh man. Bro, you you may be on Windows what's that, Windows XP, Windows Vista? Oh my gosh. Windows Millennium Edition. Oh my gosh. Bro, your computer still makes the sounds from World War II. That's crazy. That's an old Windows. I could tell by the symbol right there. Wow. Yeah, I don't do you trade on this computer? How do you trade on it? Like how old is your TOS? Oh my goodness. I don't know this later on in the day, but bro, that is like that's insane. Yeah, most of those types that are super old, like Windows XP, that have lost support for so long, when you do get a computer, if you put them on there, as soon as you turn them on, they get hacked. As soon as you, because they're bots looking out for weaknesses, and as soon as you connect to the internet, it's like almost immediately you get hacked. What you can do though is you can get it, you can do it in a virtual machine, and you can get like an old Windows whatever in the virtual machine, turn it on, run Wireshark outside of their virtual machine, and then just post the or yeah, just kind of survey the packets going through, and you'll see as soon as you turn it on, like within seconds, it'll be hacked. And so then from there you just delete the virtual machine because it's probably about to be unusable. Probably about to be unusable. D Pro Kind of still popping around this $8 level, which is insane. But a lot of these things that have been released onto the internet or bots that have been run, sometimes they're purchased from the dark web. I mean, you can go on the dark web and buy anything, anything. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you can buy something that's super dangerous and implement it. And some people, they'll do that and they don't know how to stop it. They're like, oh, let me run this whatever program, get it started like a worm or something that's going to live within the files and the internal libraries of a computer, and it'll wake up in 10 years. And then they'll do something like that, and then in 10 years when this thing wakes up, they're like, oh man, I forgot. How do I stop this again? How do I do this? So some of the things that are out there, they will be alive until, because the actual worm or whatever the program is cannot, usually it cannot update itself. So as it gets older, it will usually age out. It'll get so old that it can't find the files that it wants to jump to. It can't find, whatever, and it's not learning. It's not an AI based thing. So it usually ages out, even if it is released onto the internet or onto servers or onto whatever it's released on. But that lifespan, you never know. You never know how long it will live. All right, IBG, still not seeing any catalyst for this thing. You said your monitor is in black and white. Color was not available yet. RGB set to zeros, 000. I think white is 0. White might not be 0. It might be a letter. It might be like ZZZZZ. I don't know. I think it's all zeros, I believe. But that might be black. I forget. I haven't done any color coordination work in a minute. Oh boy. Well, it is 7:21. I'm going to get ready to hit the road. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel. We've already looked through and seen what the focus is for today, which seems to be penny stocks and cheaper stocks. I still think something better is going to be coming. I want to see what kind of news pops on IBG and really see if this becomes the runner on the day. Right, it's got a float. It's got a pretty low float. It says the outstanding shares is 2 million. Let me go look at the float real quick for IBG. Float is looking like under 1 million in the float. So maybe if some news pops on this one, it could get very dangerous. Did we finish looking at the daily chart for this one? I don't even know if we did. But it's got some peaks out here, 655, 730. So let me go ahead and mark those up. We'll just call these daily peak values or peak daily levels. And it's got one peak there. It's got another one here at 733. So duplicate, move this up. Oops. Duplicate. Move this up. And then it's got one way up here at 9 something. All right, so we got 3 little levels there. It is currently under all of this, and it's under the 5. So it's gonna have to get over 5 first before it tries to do anything up there. But we'll see if any catalyst. If no catalyst pops on that one, then I just won't be touching it. For some reason, volume is pouring into it though. So it's got 7 million shares. It is coming on up the board, but again, it's gonna have to do some work. It is over the 26 cent or the 26%, so up 46%. So I'm just gonna keep my eyes open and see what happens. But yeah, that is it for me today. Appreciate you guys once again for tuning in. Let's see what we want to do today. Let's go ahead and close it out. Keep your head on the swivel. I will be in Discord later on once I get on site and get my computer and all that stuff set up. So if you have any questions or comments, the Discord is free. It has been dropped into the chat. If the link isn't working, let me know and I will drop a fresh link. But Yeah, it's free. And we continue conversations in there after the stream. So, all right, that is it for me today. And as always, appreciate you and peace out.